Alors la team, vous avez passé une bonne journée? Tac tac tac. Hop là. Donc bah ce soir la team, comme vous avez pu le voir du coup dans le titre, on découvre un nouveau jeu. Nouveau let's play on va dire sur la chaîne en quelque sorte. Donc let's play du coup concerne Disco Elysium, The Final Cut. Parce que Disco Elysium du coup ce que j'ai pu me renseigner c'est que c'est un jeu qui est sorti en 2019 et du coup t'as la version Final Cut qui est sortie en 2021, donc une version un peu plus poussée je crois, pas après le même prix. Une sorte de gros DLC en quelque sorte, où du coup ça rajoute plus d'intrigue à l'histoire ou quoi que ce soit. Et donc pour l'intrigue de l'histoire, de manière globale, la seule chose très simple qu'il faut savoir, c'est que Disco Elysium est un jeu du coup d'action avec une légère touche de RPG, où on joue du coup un détective. Et notre but, du coup, ce détective, du coup, est de résoudre des meurtres dans une ville, dans un petit hameau. Et donc tout va se baser là-dessus. Donc ça va être un jeu plutôt très narratif et plutôt basé sur les énigmes, en quelque sorte, plutôt qu'un jeu d'action, on va dire, qui soit du coup très dynamique ou quoi que ce soit. Donc on va découvrir tout ça ce soir. On va lancer le jeu. Et puis bah écoutez, on va voir ce que ça donne, hein. Et aussi du coup, pour la petite anecdote, pour ceux qui suivent un peu toutes ces stats-là, Disco Elysium du coup fait partie des jeux quasiment les mieux notés de manière globale du coup sur PC. Donc c'est aussi ce qui m'a donné envie de le faire, parce que je me dis que forcément c'est un très bon jeu, et si c'est un très bon jeu, du coup on va tous prendre énormément de plaisir à ça. Allez tac. Ouais, je lance le jeu, tac tac tac, on passe en live. Voilà, donc on va voir du coup rapidement s'il y aura besoin de changer les assets, que ce soit en haut ou en bas à gauche. Ah ouais, avec un peu de chance, ça devrait être bon là-dessus. À voir du coup, ça bloque du coup des parties de l'histoire ou quoi que ce soit. Et de toute façon, ça, on peut pas savoir autrement qu'en lançant le jeu tout simplement. Donc ouais les gars, j'espère que vous avez passé une bonne journée. Ouais. Passé une bonne journée, un bon week-end pour ceux que j'ai pas vu, étant donné que j'avais pas stream lundi du coup, donc je sais pas si vous avez passé un bon week-end. C'est quand même stylé les graphiques, hein. Les graphismes, pardon, excusez-moi. Les graphismes en vrai. Très pastel un peu comme ça. Vraiment fait à l'arraché, mais en même temps c'est très beau. Un peu déconstruit, en même temps c'est tout bon. N'hésitez pas à me dire dans le chat du coup si le son est bon ou pas, parce que du coup j'avoue j'ai déjà lancé le jeu du coup pour voir un peu les volumes, pour régler tout ça, pour clavier aussi du coup régler le clavier aussi du coup en AZERTY, pour être sûr qu'il n'y ait pas d'embrouille là-dessus. Du coup aussi il y a des touches qui sont là en amont, mais bon ça me spoil un peu donc on va pas trop regarder non plus. Waouh. Ah oui donc SPRPG c'est que vraiment t'as des notes et quoi que ce soit. Ok. Choisis un archétype. Philosophe. Extrêmement intelligent mais pas doué pour les interactions sociales. Possède une culture générale étendue et des idées originales. Femme psychologue et monstre de carrière doté d'une personnalité instable qui risque de le mener vers la folie. Et porté sur des prouesses physiques, ce personnage ne sert de son corps pour interagir avec son environnement efficace mais bête comme ses pieds. Oh. Bon alors là par contre, j'en ai aucune idée. Ah je pensais pas du tout que ça allait commencer comme ça. Choisir un archétype, waouh, j'avoue que je m'y attendais pas. Et si on regarde personnaliser rapidement. Ah oui, donc là ok. Là du coup t'as des points total et genre du coup on... Est-ce qu'il y a un monde du coup on peut mettre genre 3-3 partout? Votre force cérébrale, votre capacité intellectuelle, votre sensibilité, votre capacité émotionnelle, votre musculature, votre capacité physique. C'est quoi ça, faible, moyen? Ah oui, non, c'est juste mon niveau, ok. Et remarquable, ok. Et je regarde juste du coup les autres archétypes. Ouais, lui, ouais, vraiment, il a pas de cœur, quoi. Bon, ce qu'on va dire, on va se créer ça. Et on va prendre un truc un peu parti des arrêtés. Du coup, on va mettre en 3-5-2-2. J'ai un peu une faible motricité, mais bon. Bon, attention, je suis un détective, hein. Je suis pas quelqu'un de... Waouh. Choisir un talent. Oh, c'est tellement compliqué. Ça, on a quand même des petits points bonus, du coup. Oh. Waouh. Est-ce que c'est un jeu du coup un peu roguelike du coup? On va avoir beaucoup de rerun là-dessus? Peut-être en vrai. Vas-y, on va continuer hein. Pas trop ce que ça va faire. Bon, on va voir. Au numéro que vient les furies, l'eau peut être bien claire, profonde et nature. Monsieur R.S. Thomas. Je dois commencer?
There is nothing,
Waouh.
only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever.
Ok.
Never, ever.
Un autre qui a été imprimé à ta conscience fermante. Faire tu n'as plus besoin à jamais plus.
Never, ever, ever, baby.
Ok.
An inordinate amount of time passes.
Un très long moment.
It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle.
Ok.
Soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you.
Ok, donc c'est une sorte d'interrogatoire que je subis.
And it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing. Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone. Do you really? You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself.
Ah ouais, donc j'étais vraiment.
Got a bit
On va laisser
carried
parler.
away, did we, chef?
Donc j'étais vraiment genre rabat. Du coup, ça, j'ai beaucoup de problèmes à oublier. Histoire du coup avec une ex-femme potentiellement. Et donc du coup, j'en ai tellement bavé que du coup, bah, j'étais là, du coup, à me bourrer la gueule, genre vraiment comme si j'avais 16 ans, je venais me faire larguer. On s'est un peu laissé emporter, pas vrai, chef?
Fear and
Whoa.
apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
J'ai l'impression que tu devrais commencer par demander ce qui t'attend.
Yes, your one disco
C'est écrit,
mother.
Disco.
There's this giant ball there.
L'autre géant t'attend et des
An
singes
evil
malfaisants.
apes. And the evil
C'est
apes
Baston
are
sur la
juking
boule.
it out on the
Tu l'as montré,
ball.
en gros, il y a que ça qui t'attend. Des
You're
singes
one
malfaisants
of
qui bastonnent.
them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball.
Yeah.
You can't even make out it's a ball when you're
Là, je
joking
dois
it
avoir un
out.
flacon qui sont sous.
It's that large. Infinitesimally small.
Quand on parle à quoi ça sert au juste?
Vying for resources. It's
Alors, qui
just
aura
a
le contrôle des
stupid
ressources?
expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil ape. Yes, it is. And you
That's a
drowned in
tristesse.
that. You lost.
Comment ça, j'ai pas. C'est pas ce bruit de fou. Wesh! C'est moi, chef? Oh la gueule! Oh la gueule que j'ai! Wesh! Attends. Cette option du coup, excusez-moi. Et qu'est-ce que je dois faire? J'ai obtenu
You
pantalon.
hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should
ouvrir la
open the
porte.
door.
Ok. Ok, donc ça, je me déplace en faisant des clics gauche. Ok, pourquoi il y a un point vers sa bouteille? Ce magnum de Commodore rouge et vide. Atelier de bat. Ok. Ouais, c'est un peu fort ça, mais ok, je peux prendre l'évidence du coup, ok. On a quelqu'un arraché la cassette alors que la chanson passait encore. Téléphone fonctionne mais tourne à vide, ok. Là, je fais quoi là? J'attrape mes chaussures, genre par exemple. Ah, on peut un peu dézoomer. Ah, ok. Demandez parce que j'avais peur qu'on puisse pas dézoomer, que ce soit un peu plus compliqué. Ok, là je vais attraper ma cravate du
This
coup, c'est
fan
ça?
has 2 chain pull switches. One
Bizarre,
ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow
Il y a des
attached
personnes mystérieuses
itself
dans une des
to
pales.
one of the blades.
Ouais, ça tue, ok,
Or
ça me va.
has it been consigned there
Oh.
as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
Ah, mais du coup, j'ai vraiment. Attends, ok. Donc là, j'ai faible, j'ai 28% de chance du coup de refaire ça. Votre vote tata 11. Pourquoi j'ai 28% si ça? Vas-y, on fait ça.
You reach out to grab the tie, but what's this? Diffuse, radiating. This is bad.
Oh! Oh, j'ai perdu 1 de
Feels
heal!
like sharp stones grinding in your chest and keeping you from moving for quite a still ongoing. Now is a good. Finally, the pressure recedes. You find yourself covered in cold sweat and trying not to move. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now.
Ah, et là maintenant, il s'est éteint. Ok, une nouvelle mise en scène qui est en place.
You swoop up and catch
Okay.
the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade.
Ouais, ok, pas mal le tuto qu'on m'avait expliqué.
The necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns.
Ne vous rappelez un nœud coulant.
If it's your friend, why was it up there? Who ties their friend to a ceiling fan? Maybe this thing is dangerous somehow.
Perdu une cravate la team, non?
An ominous, foreboding feeling fills you as you look at the tie.
Ok. Oui, donc du coup, vraiment, j'ai une sorte de stuff, quoi, en fait. Cravate terrifiante. Qui ont moins du coup ma psyché. J'ai moins 1 de mise en scène. Ok. Je sais pas si j'ai qu'une seule chaussure, par contre. Et donc, si je vais là-bas, je récupère ma veste, du coup. Je peux prendre. Ok. Là, je peux aussi aller de l'autre côté. Je possède des bouteilles d'un baignoire du vin, de la bière et des liqueurs sucrées. Oh ouais, je me suis bien courir la gueule. Pourquoi j'ai une sale gueule en bas à gauche? Vas-y, hop, j'ai obtenu une chemise blanche, ok. Je peux voir ça.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet
La moitié
off.
du robinet, mais pourquoi faire?
Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
C'est quoi le problème avec
Where
ma
to
tête?
even begin?
Pour souffler des figures.
There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers. Bet you are.
Votre nez
Your
est tel un
nose
petit
feels
ballon
like
au
a
milieu de
small
votre visage. Il
balloon
vous
in the
fait
middle
mal
of
quand
your
vous le pincez.
face.
En outre, il n'y a
It
pas de
hurts when you
pression.
honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either. Behold,
Oh, bah, ça va.
you have
Ça va, je
no
suis beau gosse.
idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait,
Hmm.
is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
Ce visage.
Please stop.
Visage comme ça.
It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my god. You can't stop. It's like
C'est
it's
même
not
pas
even
plus volontaire.
voluntary anymore.
Ok.
You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off.
Ah ouais. Ah oui, attendez, sauf que du coup là, on va perdre quelque chose. Attendez. Du coup, c'est bien de voir ma tête en bas à gauche, ça que là-dessus, j'avais pas pensé à ça. Périphérique vidéo. On va faire un peu, tac. Et donc du coup, chatbox. On va le mettre à quoi? Ouais, ça du coup, c'est en bas, du coup, c'est un peu genre mon ATH, du coup, avec les trucs orange, du coup, c'est barre de vie, et la barre bleue, je n'ai aucune idée de ce que c'est. Tac, on va capturer tout ça. Ok, donc voilà à quoi je ressemble.
What does it even mean? What is
Ça
the emotion
signifie.
you're trying to convey?
J'ai bien peur que ce soit dessiné aux dames. C'est que je suis vaguement sympathique et je crois que c'est crédible de façon un peu ringarde et triste, mais c'est ce qui fait mon charme.
There might have been 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now.
Terrifiant, impossible. Oh, ok. Ça, je peux pas le faire. Ok. Potentiellement le... C'est quoi ça? Oh, ça. Ok, mais c'est un truc fermé que je peux pas faire grand chose. Ok. Pourquoi il me parle d'ampoule aussi? Toujours un truc à faire avec ça. Si je regarde là, et si je tire sur l'ampoule, ça lui sonne la lumière, non?
The fan stands still. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can
Passe un trou
practically
dans la chambre,
feel
ok.
the photons burning a hole in your brain. The lights are off.
Ok, les lumières sont éteintes.
The window stands
C'est-
broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Ok. 72% de chance de réussir. J'évalue les dégâts.
The shards face
Ok.
outward. Whatever
Morceaux
broke
sont
this
tombés
window
vers l'extérieur,
came
ce qui a
from
brisé
the
celle de
inside.
l'intérieur.
A fine web of scarring covers the
Voilà
back
ce
of
qui est
your
disponible
right
tout à
hand,
droite.
but
Qui est
none of
récente.
it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool
C'est
back
ça qui est un
in
petit peu. On a
after
retiré même déjà
impact.
après l'impact.
It is too large for a bullet, yet too
Ouais, c'est une
small
blague.
for a
C'est pas
piece
aussi
of
pas c'est une
furniture.
blague.
You're
Et de
looking
plus
for
grand que ton
something
poing.
heavy and larger than your fist.
Ouais, mais
The
du coup, c'est avec la
single
bouteille,
green
quoi.
shoe you found fits the
Ah,
hole
c'est vrai.
almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if
Ça a
thrown
été
with
lancé avec
force.
force. C'est vrai que du coup, ça expliquerait le coup la chaussure droite.
Congratulations. You
Avec ta
smashed
propre
the window
chaussure.
with your own shoe. Now
T'as
you
appliqué une
only
droite, tu
have
pourras peut-être
one.
retrouver l'autre sur le balcon.
If you're
La
lucky,
porte qui mène
you
de
could
votre
still
extérieur.
find the other one on the balcony outside.
Ok.
The door to it should be outside your room. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up
Le
from
dash
the
de
cold.
5 XP, ok. Attends, du coup, qu'est-ce que j'ai là? Ouais, ça, du coup, j'ai là-dessus. J'ai ma clé. J'ai rien d'autre, ok. La santé, ça c'est mon moral, ok. Donc là, du coup, j'ai stade +1, -1, +1. Je peux dire motivation, du coup, sur mes lancers de base. Donc ouais, c'est un peu un mode RPG. On dirait qu'il manque une chaussure. Un pote de croco verte voudrait la trouver avant de vous enterrer dans l'inconnu des chaussures valent mieux qu'une réunie scellée. Ok, là-dessus, ça me va. Que du coup, il y a toujours ça, il y a toujours l'histoire du miroir là-bas. Mais bon, le miroir, du coup, ça mène pas grand-chose. Et ça, là-bas, du coup, la porte est fermée. Ok, donc là, j'ai ouvert. Ok. Est-ce que je peux fermer la porte? Est-ce qu'on va parler avec la madame d'abord? Et du coup, là-bas, c'est pour aller au balcon. Je pense que en tout cas, je devrais passer par là-bas du coup pour sortir après. Wow! Ah oui, non, c'est déjà. Ok. Ok. Effectivement, voilà ma chaussure. Des chaussures vertes en croco. Bah, du coup, c'est bon. Groupe moins 2 de mise en scène. C'est chiant ça pour tout ce qui est motivation. Dans de la mer vous écœure.
There they both are.
Ok.
Two
Ah oui,
identical
c'est le point jaune du
shoes,
coup pour dire que j'ai bien
both
ok.
copiously green and like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced.
Oui, son commentaire
Comfy.
à dire vrai, j'ai
Feels
l'impression
like
que
the
c'est le seul.
only good thing about you right now.
Oh ouais, c'est truc de bien chez moi, ok. Là du coup là maintenant entre guillemets j'ai plus rien à faire. Enfin ici après on va en parler. Peut-être retourner au miroir vite fait, savoir du coup s'il y a toujours les lancers de fou ou pas. Là j'ouvre la porte. Ok. On peut fermer la porte du coup si on joue un peu RP on va dire en quelque sorte. Si on va là-bas, on va pouvoir accéder au miroir. Est-ce que le miroir a du coup toujours la même chose avec des
A
dangers de fou
mirror
là?
hangs on the bathroom
Ah oui
wall.
ok.
In it,
Ok on va ignorer ça pour le moment, c'est pas grave. Ça arrive. Ok. Ok donc voyons le jour peut-être déjà. Que nous sommes en mars de l'année 51. Oh 51 seulement?
Hello, officer.
the young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
Je suis l'agent? Je suis agent d'entretien?
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes.
Certaine.
Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days.
3 jours, ah oui,
On
c'est ça.
official police business, no less.
Ok, ouais, donc ça, j'ai bien fait de lui parler ici
Couldn't
pour avoir plus
say.
d'infos.
In
Wow.
truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Une affaire de picole, je dirais. Pourquoi est-ce que je me souviens pas d'être appelé quoi que ce soit d'autre? Pour me permettre. Suggestion difficile, 42%. 42%,
Could it
c'est
be
dur.
because of the drinking? Don't be so harsh on yourself.
De
Et
nos
là,
jours,
dans le-
laisse
A
tout le monde
glib
apprécier.
remark. Don't let it
Yeah, that's-
stand. Assert yourself.
A fondness for contradictory statements.
Et cela après la direction des tessons. Et ouais, ça, je l'ai deviné
Extraordinary.
tout seul. 42%, c'est trop dur. C'est pas
Of course. Be careful, officer.
j'en ai
They
pas
don't
trop
like
de
the police around here.
Ah. Ok, donc elle est à porte au fond.
She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Goodbye.
Comment ça? Elle veut ma tub, c'est le mec. Il a essayé d'ouvrir les portes chez les gens. Je veux dire, mec, c'est un grand mégot dans son grille, il est encore fumant. Bon alors? Ah, là, du coup, je peux potentiellement lui reparler. C'est ça l'idée.
The
Ok.
door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
Tout le monde sans toi.
The door is indifferent to your loneliness. The world does not care.
On frappe de nouveau.
Still no answer. Still nothing. Still nothing.
Non, parce que actionner la poignée, du coup, etc., ça va vraiment être en mode. Je vais du coup rentrer du coup dans l'appartement d'une meuf qui est en train de se doucher. Bizarre l'ambiance. Ok. Là, du coup, waouh. Pourquoi? C'est de collègue, ça, non? Ok, donc ouais, je suppose que le mec là-bas, du coup, va mettre. Ah, mais c'est le mec sur l'affiche, non? Ça va être un collègue à moi. C'est là où on met les paroles, tout simplement. Un bon vieux micro de karaoké qui attend patiemment un chanteur. La musique est interprétée
You
par
should
la musique.
totally sing karaoke here. The first chance you get.
Tu as besoin d'exprimer tes
Your
émotions.
emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast oceanic soul. Of course, at this point, precise measurements of your soul can only be performed from the outside, through a PA system,
Ok.
by other people.
C'est une super star, chose. Est-ce que je vais bien pouvoir chanter quand quelqu'un
You have
ne
not
pas?
yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. you will wreak havoc with it.
D'accord, découvrir la bonne
Don't
notation, mais
worry.
elle est pire.
Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
Une chanson triste sur bande.
A man
Salut, chef.
in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Ouais, c'est
Could
vrai
the
ce
massive
mensonge?
property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body
Décrocher
down,
le corps.
solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room? No, you see, actually, you didn't. You haven't done anything even
La
remotely
fille que
useful
son
since
temps
you
soit
got
plus
here.
utile pour être ici.
No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you. Concentrate.
Il va casser les couilles lui. Le menu a été effacé, c'est le mot lundi encore visible. Ok, ah oui, du coup j'ai un kit de soins si besoin, ok. Rond de sujets électriques de la cuisine, quelqu'un y travaille. Ok, mais je pense que du coup, ça n'a rien à faire à la cuisine pour l'instant. Territoire réservé au monde syndicat ouverture 16h, ok. Ah, c'est quoi ça? Ce petit cœur de Macroyal est débranché. Salut mon pote.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you.
Ouais, j'ai envie de le croire, il
Hello.
m'a tendu la main.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
Oh merde.
This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative.
Tu es un cool, ce mot
Conceptualize.
jamais. Sois créatif. Vas-y, je conceptualise.
Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
Oh putain, c'est 115.
Yes, well. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
Ouais.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Right. And the interviews? Okay. We'll have time for that after we take a look. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
Retirer le cadavre de l'arbre.
Mm-hmm. So, the body.
This is the first time you detect a
Yes.
weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your
Pas
back.
mal. C'est vrai que du coup, pour ça, c'est policier, c'est bien que ce soit indiqué du coup sur la
I
manche et sur la
suppose you
veste quand
could
même.
be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen if you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our number one. After you, officer.
Allons-y. Ok. Interroger Gardré, le patron du café, c'était le corps de la victime.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting.
Ok. Donc là, voilà. Donc ça, c'est plus ou moins les quêtes principales, je pense. Patron du café, inspecter le corps dans l'arrière-cour.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
You're a handsome man, officer, with
Ah,
your
mais l'homme, monsieur l'agent
mustache and
RB.
your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Oh, la vue me faire du pied, la team.
But dear, you're not for me.
Mais pas fait pour moi.
I'm too old and too married besides.
In another time and place, she might have flirted back.
Ça, c'est l'histoire
You
ancienne.
must
Dommage.
forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located?
Oh, aucune idée, je sais pas.
We're in the city of Revachol, dear. How would I even begin to tell you?
Revachol
is the most beautiful city
Ah
in the
ouais.
world. We're fortunate to be
Donc
here.
Revachol,
you
on
and
la ville, ok.
I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is. Yes? That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should all...
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried.
I can tell that this is
Whoa.
taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Oh. Wow.
Nope. Sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is market-driven. Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Of course, dear.
Ok. Bon, on a appris un peu plus. On n'est pas dans une sorte de quête de sauvegarde auto. Salut mon pote.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops...
Mr. Gart, right?
Miss Gart.
You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41? Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
Sylvie. Ok, number.
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yeah.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
Okay.
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
She went away because none of your business. Extra fine. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him. No, I'm not the...
He's very animated all of a sudden. This is clearly a touchy subject for him.
I have 3 cafeterias I man. No, I'm...
He's very animated.
That period of my life is over. Not... I hope it is.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk. No one. It must be merely imagination.
Trop bizarre ça.
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
No, don't listen to him. It's madness. Just talk.
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right. Money.
Mais bref, c'est trop dur parce que tu commences à mentir, t'as tout oublié. T'as tout oublié, tu passes vraiment pour le compte service quoi. Et genre tu peux rien faire. Je peux rien faire. Dans tous les choix de réponse, je ne peux rien faire.
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him!
Je peux être une intéressation, tu vois.
No one is saying that. No one is saying that Ty can talk. That would be ludicrous. It's just that you should arrest him. It would be.
The lieutenant looks at you tugging on your gear.
If you don't have the money, it's okay. None of it.
That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
Let's see. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money. What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't...
Officer, maybe you're better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
You mean somewhere else to run up a huge debt? I don't think so. The union squeezed most places out of business to fund the strike. You're better off home.
Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of
Est-ce que
money.
je pourrais essayer de retrouver où je vis, de retrouver la...
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street.
Ok, donc là, du coup, waouh. Vous descendez la grande rue jusqu'à perdition. Vous verrez une rue adjacente et que vous en prendre dans la boue. Jusqu'à atteindre le domaine éminent Jamrock Nord. Ce geste d'époque de l'année. Descendez la grande rue jusqu'à perdition vers une rue adjacente. Si je fais intérioriser, du coup, je. Ah oui, et tout ça, c'est tout ce qu'il y a à voir. Wesh, ok. Ça, du coup, ça, c'est toutes mes quêtes. Et du coup, j'ai un autre objet dans l'inventaire. Objet. Je peux pas l'équiper, mais ok, donc il y a un système comme de vente et d'argent avec ça, ok. Voilà. Du coup, on va sortir. Je crois que j'ai un autre à faire. On va sortir, du coup, on va essayer d'aller voir le cadavre. Maintenant, ok, donc on est maintenant dans la ville. On n'a pas vraiment d'infos si on est vraiment précisément dans la ville. Wesh, chef! On devrait quand même aller voir le cadavre. Il a dit qu'on devait aller voir le cadavre. Allons voir le cadavre. Ok, donc ouais, effectivement. Donc là-dessus, c'est l'immense trou. Rue de Saint-Guylaine, 8B.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
C'est mon truc. Ok, bon. Allons voir d'abord le cadavre. Là, il devrait être par là. Là, on est dans l'arrière-cour. Oh, il y a un gamin qui joue.
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid,
C'est presque ski, on dirait un
he's
diablotin.
almost exquisite in his ugliness.
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
Can't talk, pig. Shit's
Le
coming up
star, je
strong.
suis en plein trip, je jette des cailloux.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should...
Yeah, Kuno, right!
Kuno's riding it.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
Vous êtes de rajouter le râteau à la gueule, c'est un
Kuno
fou.
know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. All right, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there?
Irregular speech
Ziva, je t'écoute. Par contre, la traduction avec le Ziva là comme ça, avec le bon Z majuscule, j'ai envie de canner. Hein.
This warrants further investigation into this. Kuno.
Shitload pig. What's your question?
Mais je vais poser la question.
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
You have no idea what the usual is. Just ask whatever comes to mind.
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp.
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You haven't been where Kuno's been. You haven't been in Kuno's head. You wanna know where Kuno was? You wanna know what Kuno's been fucking up to?
J'essaie de suivre un peu. Ah ouais, ça boit direct à la carafe. Bah évidemment, j'essaie de suivre un peu, frère. C'est le principe du jeu. Ah ouais, je bois directement à la carafe. Du coup, un petit litre d'eau, tu vois, une petite bouteille. Alors, une carafe, c'est plutôt une bouteille, tu vois. Petite bouteille, un petit litron, quoi. Tout simplement. Évidemment, j'essaie de suivre. Juste que franchement, c'est ça, c'est que ça part dans tous les sens, très intéressant. Et c'est vrai que pour l'instant, ça part dans tous les sens. Il y a beaucoup de petits trucs annexes à faire à droite, à gauche. Beaucoup d'éléments d'intrigue. Mais justement, en fait, c'est que pour l'instant, énormément de questions et très peu de réponses. Bon, je suppose que du coup, forcément, ça va se découler par la suite. Mais c'est vrai que là, au début, fais attention, pas naïf. Mais comment un petit de 12 ans pourrait être défoncé, genre?
That's the name of Kuno City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't about that.
Ah ouais, par contre, ça voit des grands bitches, etc.
What it is about, at least for the moment.
Bon.
If it's important.
Et la fameuse ville de Night City.
Quelques
poulets qui remueraient la merde, ça.
That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Mais comment ça, t'es un gamin de 12 ans, genre ça te passe? Wesh.
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his
C'est
little
là
wooden
que Kuno joue
choo-choo.
avec sa petite locomotive, c'est sûr. Ça te pose problème peut-être.
Yeah,
Ouais.
whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's Kuno, pig.
Non mais ça me termine, genre, peut-être 12 ans, il se lâche full insulte, fils de pute.
Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit.
C'est truc
Don't throw that bullshit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying. Trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
The boy knows he has an addictive personality. Admirable insight for his age.
Watch out, Kuno, he's trying to fiddle you.
Il va te
He's
toucher.
gonna put his
Wesh.
hands on you. Help, Pig's got Kuno.
Ouais, chef.
Rape.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Yeah? Get out of here before the Kuno beats the
Yeah, that's right.
Don't listen. Just go.
Bang! Got fucked by the Kuno.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips, you seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell
De
seeps
cargo,
in even
ok.
through your clenched nostrils.
S'il vous plaît, ça pénètre à travers nos os narines. Bon sang, c'est quoi ça?
Active
Pourquoi ça
decay.
pue autant?
It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything.
Ah ouais, dans le jeu ça vomit banal, hein. Le bon bruit bien dégueulasse.
Too late, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your
Keep it.
Putain de macabé.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
Ok, on
There
va
is
trouver de l'ammoniaque.
Fritz nearby, east of the hostel.
Ouais,
They
c'est
usually
ok.
have a small apothecary. If there's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Pretty clever.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Merci pour l'info. Ok, donc faut que je trouve de l'ammoniaque. Je sais, pour le gamin, elle est un peu branlante mais utilisable. Ça porterait pas le point d'un homme adulte. Ok, c'est de faire pousser des plantes dans la serre. C'est que ça? C'est quoi ce truc jaune un peu là?
There are several footprints in the
Putain,
mud,
empreinte de pas
left by
c'est
work
pas de
boots.
travail.
Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Heavy workers'
potes.
boots with reinforced
travail.
toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted.
Attendez, quel est son petit capin?
What do you think you are? A super detective?
Merde.
You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud.
Merde.
Emerges for the time being.
Rien de particulier à signaler pour le moment. Ok, vas-y, c'est pas grave, on part. J'ai quoi ça? J'ai le petit mouchoir, je peux pas mettre, mais du coup ça se vend aussi. Boy. Pour est-ce que j'ai perdu du moral? Inspectez le corps de la victime. Mettez de l'ammoniaque près de la jardinière ou de la boutique frites. Ça vous faciliterait la tâche. Ok, du coup la jardinière devrait être dans le coin, si j'ai bien compris. Enfin, ça c'est la serre du coup. Il faut que je trouve. Oh! Rentre, hein? Le soin magnésium. Ouais. Ok, c'est pas de récupérer notre morale, c'est cool ça. Quel ce treuil s'oxyde depuis des années, ok. Et là ici, qu'est-ce qu'on a là?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material
Est-ce que je
eaten
regarde
night.
ça? Toi, tu vois.
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted again.
Ouais, ok, bon pour l'instant c'est un truc où je peux pas trop interagir avec le lancer. Ok, je peux pas aller derrière, donc là du coup on va essayer de retourner de l'autre côté. Là, du coup t'as Kuno le con là qui fait une mariole. Et je suppose que si je parle directement avec la meuf ça va rien changer, c'est ça?
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Stay away from me, pig. You don't want to
Donc c'est la
see
tête,
what
c'est pas
happens
savoir ce
when
qui
you...
se passe quand on m'accule. Bon. Pas l'impression qu'il y ait beaucoup d'interactions pour l'instant après
This
cette
trash
début.
container is locked. The sliding
N'importe la
lid
motion.
has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death. The lieutenant leans in to inspect the lock.
We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the whirling
Demander
in
la clé
rags.
du patron.
He
Ok.
probably has.
He might also
mal.
have information. This is better than...
Bien arrondi, verrouillé, se rendre derrière le patron Garté devrait avoir la clé. Ok, donc bon, on va utiliser la clé s'il a une clé, le couze. Ça c'est quoi? C'est pour dire que ça va être une benne, c'est ça l'idée? Lettre R et ornée d'une couronne sur ruban du dessous écrit A light above descending. Ok, donc là il y a les gamins qui jouent à côté du truc, banal, ça choque personne quoi. Ils jouent à côté d'un cadavre, et puis bon, personne n'est surpris. Bon alors du coup idéalement c'est soit aller voir Garté, mais d'abord je pense qu'on va aller voir la voiture. Attendez, un petit point vert, ça se clique. Il y a des bouteilles à l'intérieur, vous pourrez les ramasser si vous avez un sac. Oh, ouais, ok. Ok, donc là, du coup, c'est la voiture du collègue, normalement.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The
En bleu et en
bodywork
blanc,
is
porte
covered
numéro
in blue and white livery,
57.
bearing the number
Donc c'est
57.
celle du collègue Kim.
Vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Ok, bonjour Alice, c'est agent du poste 41,
This is
enchanté.
Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Je vois que vous mettiez en relation avec une civile, une certaine civile a peut-être signé un meurtre. Oh, ça serait broken, mais je pense qu'il va me dire qu'en gros, bah je peux pas faire ça, c'est pas mon taf, tu vois. Mais d'abord, on va mettre ça.
Second officer.
Putain, doucement comme un feu de camp après qu'ils entendent un vieil homme. Vous savez dans la radio. Allez, pardon, j'appuie sur continuer.
10-2, 10-5, this is 41st, come in, over.
Oh, le bon accent bien français, j'adore.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The radio switchboard. The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
Oh merde, oh je tiens un faux code.
10-4, message received, 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
Oh, Dick Mullen. Ok.
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Le bâtard.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge.
Ne vous appelez pas. Mais non, il met
Defend
des
yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Ten 4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Vous êtes à la recherche de votre insigne égaré terminé. Cherchez votre insigne.
Fuck me! Mac, come here! You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
Mais c'est le chevron Dick Mullen en fait.
He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Oh mais ça va, abuse Chester, tu casses les couilles.
Ask him if he's lost his gun too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it... No. It's gone. It's not fucking on you.
Don't sweat it, Bratan. You
Non
don't
mais la
need a
cravate
gun
ça
to
termine
have
genre.
fun. We can still have fun. It's not all over.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
42%.
Before you
Fils
can
de
get the
pute.
words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
He says he didn't lose his gun, or his phone, whatever that means.
Ask him to describe it. His gun. Not
Satellite Officer McLean requested...
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
He says he does...
Dear God, he lost his gun. Oh my, I can't.
This isn't really a laugh.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself, but Disco here made him piss his pants. Oh, I can't.
Il a perdu
Fuck.
ça.
He lost his...
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. That's a negative. Not going to say that. Over.
What's he saying?
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerd.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate?
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. Tell him to apologize.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over. He says he's sorry.
Okay. Tell him to find his goddamn badge and gun.
That's Satellite Officer.
Okay.
10-4, affirmative. Officer is in pursuit.
Oh, God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request.
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kidding?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important to the...
He isn't getting a red cent.
Request denied. He says he's in trouble. Doesn't have...
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case...
Vicmar
Oh,
said...
fils de pute.
Who cares what this Vic Mayor said? Enough, officer. This begging is below your dignity.
Anything else, sir? Over.
On va discuter de certains détails personnels.
Okay, 10-4, sir.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12. Visitors present here. Over.
Mais parler de moi en disant mon nom.
10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over.
What? What is it?
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to...
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive. That's...
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics. What? What is it?
He wants to verify...
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the
Ah, Dick
Revacholian
Mullen,
Cavalry
ok.
Force. Tell him to stop wasting...
What do you need, sir? 10-4. Your address?
Hold up, Jules. He does...
Seems like it, sir.
No, fuck him. Don't tell him anything. You understand?
Sorry, sir. Anything more I can do for you? 10-4.
Does he actually...
Yes.
For God's...
Sir,
Ouais, c'est
Satellite
plus
Officer Vicmar said... So, 10...
Ok,
You
moi je
probably
vais
don't want to continue on this road.
No, sir, I haven't. Understood, sir. Roger that.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minnow enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and...
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his sidearm. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist. laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, all right. Sounded fucking.
Yeah, Mac's
Oui,
right.
Mac a
This
raison,
was
c'était vraiment sacré
gnarly
bordel là-bas. Avant
shit
qu'il n'y ait une
there.
chalet pour de l'argent,
I mean,
c'était
before he
la
started
catégorie
making
BG.
some money,
Putain, c'est vrai, bien vu,
was-
mec. Bien vu, bien vu. C'est ça que j'avais mis au tout début pour ça, mais je suis un connard. Tac. Bien vu, beau gosse, merci beaucoup à toi, Max. J'espère que t'as passé une bonne journée, mon ref.
Enough! None of this is funny.
We must help him.
Voilà, baisser ce sonore avec un tirer un cam. Voilà.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning?
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Voilà, je vous laisserai pas tomber, moi. Moi, je suis un vrai DZ ici.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words.
Un grand soupir.
This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain. Or
Whoa.
anyone else.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now...
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
Bon, moi, on a essayé la radio. Donc là, ce qui fait que putain, ouais, c'est vrai que ça là-dessus, il y a des trucs à faire. Cherchez votre arme. Cherchez votre insigne. Ouvrir la benne à ordures. Payez les dégâts. Ça ne peut pas. Appelez Steven sur la radio en cours de Kim pour lui demander si c'est lui qui a appelé. Ah oui, c'est vrai. Merde. Vous avez de la radio.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers,
Ouais, désolé,
a
Kim.
radio microphone,
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is
Ouais, c'est bon, on a que ce numéro.
005
Ah, ça va tranquille, mon ref, hein?
1944 298.
Ça va tranquille, que ce soit pour le travail ou autre chose. Franchement, tout se passe bien. Ou à part. Donc ça, tu sais, cool. Et puis là, du coup, ça, on se lance sur un nouveau jeu. Petit jeu Disco Elysium. Petit jeu du coup d'action avec une petite part de RPG. Doit résoudre des énigmes sur une enquête d'un meurtre dans une ville de Revachol. Et donc là, du coup, le problème, c'est que du coup, l'intrigue de l'histoire, c'est qu'on s'est réveillé. Et à ce qui paraît, du coup, on s'est juste bourré la gueule, genre 3 soirs de suite. Et donc, du coup, on a tellement eu de séquelles que on est presque amnésique en fait. Enfin, on est une partie amnésique, du coup, c'est qu'on se souvenait plus de notre nom, de qu'est-ce qu'on faisait ici, de ce pourquoi on est venu, du nom de la ville, en quelle année on était, quel est le régime aussi de la ville et du pays, genre beaucoup de choses. Donc, ce qui fait qu'au début, c'est très flou avec beaucoup d'informations qui arrivent en même temps de part et d'autre et beaucoup de choses à régler à droite à gauche. Mais au moins, du coup, comme je pense que pas mal de jeux d'énigmes en fait, parce qu'au début, t'as 1 milliard de questions et petit à petit, tu vas trouver les réponses à droite à gauche, quoi. Donc là, du coup, on essaie de contacter du coup Sylvie, qui est donc la personne qui a signalé le meurtre.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Appelez les questions concernant vos derniers jours de travail. C'est moi le détective du... Ok.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
Ah ok, elle reconnaît ma voix.
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again.
Vous n'avez pas vu mon assiette, vous n'avez pas vu mon pistolet. Est-ce vous qui avez appelé la police?
Not me.
Est-ce que là, après le travail, ne vous dérangez pas?
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the court.
Le syndicat?
No one calls the police. The union would get angry.
Le syndicat se mettra en colère.
You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them
Ouais,
and
donc le
they take
syndicat,
care
c'est
of
ce
their
qui gère
own, just
actuellement.
like everyone here.
Qu'est-ce que tout le monde
Garbage.
Ok.
Legally, no. In reality,
oui.
yes.
Ok.
Martinez is de facto police
Des
by the Dock
débardeurs.
Workers Union.
Ok, donc c'est ça, ok.
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Yeah, mais
push her further. Show her the error of her. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to
Même
cry.
les émotions, du coup, se... Ok. Ça va se mettre à chier.
You do? What else can I do for you?
Yep,
No,
c'est
sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires.
Il a l'air de cuivre, des robes d'éclats. Ah
People
ouais.
don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone, or the one on the coast.
Yeah.
So the
Un
union
syndicat
has a
très
phone,
bizarre, hein.
and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Bon, question
Yeah,
suivante.
go on. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm
Pas assez à l'aise pour en discuter avec vous.
not really comfortable
Ok,
discussing.
ok, pas d'embrouille.
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know who?
You think you hear a sliver of accusation. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
Ah oui, diabolique. Ok, oui, ça, donc diabolique, du coup, ça a mis dans la...
Maybe, I don't know. I
Ah,
just
c'est
know I
différent.
have to take some time off right now.
On n'a pas
Yes,
vu,
I
merci.
know who you are. You're a police officer. The law. Oh,
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Où est le tien, c'est vrai. En vrai, je suis proche. C'est vrai que Kim n'a pas d'uniforme.
He's in plain clothes. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Ouais, je suis parti des types décontractés, donc en fait, du coup, j'ai pas tenu policier, quoi.
please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and... Great. Anything else? Uniform. I never...
Somewhere in a dank rental apartment, two police officers stand in the dark. Trash and liquor bottles cover the floor. One of the men, trying not to slip on old newspapers, makes his way to the window and pulls the curtain. Goddamn. Officer Michelle Elfboy Williams speaks to himself. His partner, Sundance Fisher, looks at the patrol uniform he's wearing. Then at an identical suit frame on the wall.
Mon esprit de corps, vraiment, des fois, il me baise. C'est assez bizarre, du coup, de... Tu m'étonnes, je teste en l'air, mais je bouge. Ce jeu m'a... Je m'intéressais, mais bon, c'est maintenant. Ouais, pas de soucis en tout cas. Pas de soucis, t'inquiète pas, Naro, hein, fais ta vie. Excuse-moi des coups de parole, les messages avant. Mais ouais, ça, c'est cool, c'est assez spécial, parce que du coup, t'as tous les esprits qui se chamaillent en toi. 83%.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags, when she was still working there.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've had sailors fighting. Well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting bored of even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. We Go On by the OO. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant. And then you screamed something about how you're actually a real cool guy. And no one understands it. One of the coolest guys there is. The coolest guy in Jamrock.
Jamrock.
Something about
Il y a aussi quelque chose à propos de
disco.
disco. Je suis désolé, ma
I
pote.
had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself.
C'est nous foutre en l'air.
The ones I had to wrench out of your toilet. Damn it, I don't remember what I did to your damn papers. I don't remember
et ça, on va peut-être les trouver dans la benne, les papiers de police. Ok.
Especially when there's a hurricane loose. It's your fault for losing
Si vous avez perdu, pas la mienne.
Not mine.
Something in you wants to immediately forget about this, as if there was a reason you threw them away.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. All sorts of things. From disco, rock too. So much disco and rock. Which one would that be? Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in Saint-Saëns. Richard, that right up.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however. You hear a sigh of relief on the other end.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Fini cardio.
Over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set.
Ok, bon, du coup c'est bon. On a pu avoir cette vie, donc ouais, bah, forcément on était bourré, du coup on était un connard fini. Risque de prendre du temps. Sans sincérité, vous n'avez pas la moindre idée de l'endroit où vous êtes. Ce n'est pas vous a encouragé à demander aux autres gens. Ouais, c'est ça. Peut-être de l'ammoniaque près de la jardinière ou de la boutique frite. Récupérer une chanson triste sur bande. Ok, d'abord j'ai bien envie de voir Grad du coup. C'est quoi ça? Tas de neige au fond de ce truc.
The RCM in Martinez.
Ah, c'est Virginie, ok.
What can I help you with? Of
Si vous
course.
posez.
What can I help you with? Of course. Where to? There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too.
Oui, c'est ça, la boutique frite à l'est, ok.
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast.
Mène à la
but
côte,
it's
mais il est
broken,
cassé, je
I
crois,
think.
sans doute à cause d'un accident.
Some
Ok.
just coast. There's a little
Petit
fishing
village de
village there
pêcheurs.
and a fish market. But that got closed. It's just water. No, actually,
Observe l'eau,
I think they call it the Martinez Inlet.
Ok.
There are some islands in the bay.
Dans la baie, mais elles ne
but
sont
they're
pas
hard
faciles à
to
atteindre.
reach.
Ok.
What
Et
do
au
you
sujet
mean?
du coup. Bien, je n'est-ce pas?
Yes, sir. District of Martinez.
He knows where we are.
No problem. Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Of course.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
Sure, keep them. I have another
Ok.
pair.
Merci à toi, ma couse. Très sympa. Rentrez chez vous, sale poulet. Ah! Ah, cool! Ah ouais, cool d'être un poulet, quoi. Inspecter le corps de la victime. Donc ça, ok, on va pouvoir inspecter. C'est tout ce qu'on a. Enfin, ça, la carte. C'est un exemplaire de la carte de la ville. Ah oui, ok. Les vêtements, du coup, je peux mettre des gants. Oh, la gueule des gants! Oh, l'enfer! Ok, donc là, du coup, j'ai... Est-ce que je peux prendre un truc? Mais c'est ça là-dedans, ok. Si j'améliore ça, ok. Ah oui, donc il y a vraiment tout un arc... Ok, ah ouais. Oui, donc en fait, je pensais que c'est juste un petit jeu RPG à côté, mais finalement, non, il y a beaucoup de choses à faire dans le RPG. Oh, il y a un mec bourré en bas.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade?
Non, je veux que la réflexion, non, je veux pas me bourrer la gueule. Salut mon cousin.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind.
You've just picked up some magnesium.
Ah ouais, magnésium, du coup, c'est ce qui manque aussi du coup en moral. Cool ça. La d'été est fermée pour l'hiver, ok. Mon pote de garde, tu peux me filer les clés, mon cousin?
Can I help you? Mine? No, it belongs to the...
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep...
Why? To keep the hobos
Tenez,
and
que deux et
drunks
pour
out.
les cas.
That's
Ok, ouais.
why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there.
I thought as much. And are you the...
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal
Ouais, du coup,
company.
garbage, ok, ouais, normal.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. Yes, have you got it? Like what? What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction.
Okay.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers.
He hates the union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
I don't. I'm simply providing a service.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept. Just making clear you got that.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Another thing. Great. What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried. He was lynched. Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. Okay. You can... Yes? Absolutely.
You wait and see, Kath. Absolutely. In the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit.
Ok. Bon, on a la clé, on a les gants, on a l'ammoniaque. Donc on va pouvoir voir la benne et du coup potentiellement le corps. Je crois que la benne, je pense que du coup comme ça a été indiqué, il va y avoir du coup peut-être les papiers de police que nous on a mis dans les toilettes pour les boucher pour X ou Y raison parce que c'était juste rabat. Et après ça, du coup, le corps, on va pouvoir l'examiner, le toucher un peu, potentiellement le descendre. Et puis voilà. On va voir la benne, il y a toujours l'enfant, le connard là. Ouais, le revachol.
This trash container with a well-oiled crack. The lock don't. Maybe you shouldn't. There is, but you won't like it. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta. A box falls in among the threadbare kitchen towels. Something catches as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage.
The victim's clothes? Cadaver in the door is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched. The belt is missing. That's it.
Something slimy catch. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste.
This is a military type overgarment. No label or serial number.
Militaire, ok.
This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste.
Alright, we should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Isaac, j'ai des ordures. Peut-être simplement d'un employé de l'hôtel court bien de 7 énergumènes. On ferait mieux de ne plus avoir affaire à lui.
Not really. All we know is the victim.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno?
See?
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the... You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. Only in its social...
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
It's just or nothing. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out...
Officer, is that your paperwork? It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? Well...
His eyes express a rare condolence.
Lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Commencer. Prendre des notes concernant notre enquête. Si aspect des ordures d'où émane une puanteur garde des cartons un peu.
Some items, such as the ledger you found.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Yes, guess what's yours? Yes, sorry, cop. The cop who's sorry. Let's make it official, shall we?
Arrête.
Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and what? They'll be super, super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual Copo type from sorry to end. Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong.
Ok, donc là, du coup, on a des nouveaux trucs. Interagir. Vis-à-vis de la pétardière de Wedding. Une personne d'origine là. Ça m'arrête. Je pense en souriant niaisement toutes ses dents. Façon grossière de vieillerie coloniale à n'en pas douter. Il s'agit de registres que vous avez trouvés. Là, du bouton interagir. Ah, c'est la. Je regarde vite fait. Ah, le bouton interagir. Action interagir. Ah, c'est clic gauche. C'est bon, j'ai interagi du coup. Il est dans la box qui a jeté les vêtements.
Fuck does Kuno care? kingdom of Kuno. Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get fucked, does Kuno know?
The lieutenant.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't...
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen, listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
Oui, bah oui.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for fouling anyway, pig. The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this... Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug for...
I can't hear you, Kuno! Speak loud.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator. Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno! They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching! Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno. That's just some...
Was there something here you were supposed to pick up on? As soon as it crosses your mind, the thought is gone.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around.
No! You told
the sit and fuck...
Explain himself, as if... Stop denying it.
Kuno doesn't...
There he still is, looking right through you, with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination, the second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Nor does the wind right now.
The weight is reassuring, like a...
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. Monday, make sure you bring a handkerchief. That's probably a good idea. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
Ça, c'est des trucs qui se débloquent avec le temps, je crois, du coup.
You've gained a thought.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
An inconspicuous pile of the...
Allez, passe le tour. Il faut qu'on revoie Gart en soi.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my stuff. The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see...
the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Yes?
Ok. Qui d'autre a accès autorisé à Ben ordre de voler trouver cette personne et vous devrez pendant peut-être un peu de temps. Bon, au moins il précise parce que du coup en trimé ça c'est vraiment les quêtes, ce qu'on peut appeler quêtes principales. Puis interagir avec le registre. Mais si je... Le problème c'est que je sais pas comment je fais pour interagir en fait. I, ok, ça. P, c'est pour le journal. J. Et J, c'est la même chose, ok. M, ce sera la carte, du coup, logiquement. K. Ok, c'est juste pour dépasser rapidement dans le menu, ok. C, c'est compétences, ok. C, I.
It's the letter you found in
Putain, mais c'est qu'en gros rouge, un connard.
Of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. Desperately sticking to the back of the blue It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Still wet, the toilet paper, an aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing. The surface is It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address.
Maybe yours will have how many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have...
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers, they're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Qu'y a-t-il là-dedans? De quoi est-il question?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. There is, for precisely 1 more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid, once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria man. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now,
no, actually. Any ideas?
Une sacrée paire.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Yes, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet. Others appear more light-hearted. But it's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM, it's a holdover from the early days of the RCM. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man I pray his loved one. Rail spiked through the head.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from you. It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to arson.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not say 2. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That's okay.
Like a fan of girls, you don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. In the back, you then rip them from the binder and hand them out. According 3, the topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and you don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250. These are quite sinister in turn. A dozen pages of thin. Yes, all that remains now is what delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. The rest of the stinking cellulose it's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. U4-sized pages hang from the clip. It's made of something permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board. The acidic stench of rotting food. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteer. It's just a racist mug, but volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shits.
Ok. Donc on doit se rendre à la Kinema aussi, donc c'est la voiture, il est 12h37, donc on va pas encore pouvoir aller là-bas, là-bas c'est 16h. peut allumer les phares du coup.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious cat. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the lights unfold with a little click.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and there are so many it's hard to count. The last row has 3 perforations.
What?
That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers of the first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, that's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Yes, that does. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
What's it feel like to kill a man, Mr. McCoy? A young woman asked the man across the desk. Honestly, babe, says John McCoy, crossing his ankles over said desk. I don't feel anything anymore. It's just like brushing my teeth.
Ça fait 1 ou 2 fois par semaine sans vraiment y prêter attention. Il n'y a aucune trace de culpabilité dans sa voix.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good... Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Everyone has their own... Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Why not gardening? You've already got the glove.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page. To the
Deux flics superstars, 4 flics pitoyables. Ah ouais. Enregistré sur notre victime. Faire classer 216. Et du coup, on est d'accord que donc...
It's just...
Non, c'est bon.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. With the...
Si j'ai bien compris, je peux enfin aller voir le cadavre. Donc là, normalement, je peux aller voir le cadavre. double-cliquer du coup pour aller plus vite.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to run.
They do after 7 days, yes.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
C'est vrai que ça fait très botte un peu robotique, tu
These
vois.
are clearly not
On
boots.
peut voir genre des armures, genre à la Halo et tout ça.
Possibly part of a larger set.
C'est une armure, peut-être des émots dans ce
Indeed. Technically speaking,
armure.
these are sabatons, not boots.
Des soleries notre botte.
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. Agent, this feels dangerous. Are you sure? The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. The cadaver slowly twists. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Yeah, ça c'est les infos.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wire. The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing? Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Non, l'échelle c'est trop léger.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. His corpse is marked by stars. Alcohol and heartbreak.
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were. But it's not quite I agree.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears.
Shit, Kuno!
An instant color camera.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it? It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Sure, just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his eyes dark brown. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but
I'm gone. I'm a joke. Look at me. A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer. Go ahead, cop. Into the wild pale yon. In the past. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk.
He loves those because you're a copperoonie. Your lost Copodopo would have been. Maybe I was getting my rocks off. It's a mishmash, copper. Well, I'm not from Messina, am I? You think I am. You think I was a racist because this lump looks military. Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you? Captain Coppodromo.
He didn't choke himself. You know it.
Do I remind...
A child born with molars...
No, not quite. You sure are gonna come back later, Coppo.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
How should I know why you are squinting, officer? Oh. You are trying to assess lividity.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark...
So, what do you think? I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them.
Stop talking in riddles.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
A pool of blood.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilo.
The fuck he said?
Talking about shit.
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. The lieutenant's face is made, but there is no breath.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cog.
Of course. You have come back later.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. Someone else? You mean like the police? Sadly, yes. The whole RCA. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. Climb up there and there has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees. I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig!
How? It absolutely will not, officer. That's not how physics work.
Yeah, now we're talking.
No miss! The pig...
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea.
But what else can we do?
Qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire de plus? C'est une très bonne question, ça, la team. Hein, je dirais pour le faire descendre, il n'y a pas 36 solutions.
We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task. Yes, we do.
He breathes out.
Oh yeah, do this shit! Fuck it up!
Silence. With his elbow sharp, and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of them. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim.
He's gonna fuck.
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off.
God damn it.
He feels bad about it. About his eyes, mostly. Just having bad eyesight.
Fucking Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
No, we are any more I have to say, it's beginning to look it's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead.
This is the sorry.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot him.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your
This isn't mere boundary pushing. There is a true suicidal rage in the kid as she's provoking you.
Or what? You gonna fuck?
Your field of view as you wait. Your breathing slows down. Some mosquito.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now? Do it! Set me free!
You feel as though it would be dangerous to set this.
Don't.
Do it! Put it right here, Mulka! Right here!
Intense shit, copper.
Could waved his gun! It wasn't intense, it was pathetic!
The lieutenant
Fucking pussy
didn't shoot me. There is sincere disappointment.
We need to access the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to have it taken down. They have the tools, and they have men. I did not want to.
You need to suck my
The leader of the Union, a dangerous and corrupt man. One you don't want to be indebted to.
An intricate web of it almost looks like the electronic for you to discover. Someone close to the victim might know. Someone who knows it gone. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from.
C'est-à-dire que là-dessus, si je mets un point encore en logique, là, techniquement, si je prends le registre, si j'ai bien suivi le jeu, donc là, du coup, si je reprends, non, si je reprends ça, que je reprends mon livre, si j'ai quoi? Ah non, parce que du coup, moi j'avais l'arme, du coup, c'est comme un outil.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers. Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41. Date. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it.
Tes enquêtes.
And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. I got nothing here either. Yeah, we're staying out of this business for now. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? This one is the mural is enormous. True love is, people call it. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the case files, the crew agrees to clean up after the 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message. All of Lakeside, a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world. No one cares what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet leg. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags.
Donc là, on a reposé le truc. Et ça, je dois parler à qui maintenant?
No response. He just arches his brow.
Have you tried?
There is a sudden, harsh...
Not a fan.
The RCM.
Try work. Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Focus on other people's troubles.
A moment passes.
What do you want to know? Ah, yes. The case brief you made. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use...
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. Better still than an imbecilic cop-off. What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Well, sort of. I think the dispatch desk just told both our...
So, he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
Martinez? Nothing. It's... Yes. No. Was there anything else you wanted to add? Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
So you tried to kill Kuno's girl? What's up with that? You want to talk about it? What? Bitch! Dude, this Kuno... But you and Kuno are good for now. Pals. Shoot that shit at Kuno. Let's have a jolly time. And you're back in business.
Kuno is a merciful king, kind to his wayward subjects.
The fuck about it? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah? That shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustache. Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker came around? So yeah, he's the one you wanna talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit.
Yes, this troubadour has it.
Fuck you.
He says you're stupid, Kuno.
Oh.
He's thinking the kid has amassed quite the vocabulary of law.
Me and my partner are wondering, do you guys puff Peter?
Kuno erupts into laughter. An unfortunate choice of words, the lieutenant.
Your test.
Get lost.
Kuno doesn't.
Là j'ai plus un point. Le problème c'est que je sais pas trop le mettre encore le point pour l'instant. En fait ça c'est au maximum en fait. Là du coup je peux augmenter un peu mes stats mais pas des peu endurance. Je peux augmenter un peu. Là, je peux monter de 4 endurance par exemple. Par le reste. On est sur le balcon du Running Rex après 22 h à la fin de notre journée. Ok. Là du coup, 2 karaokés, on s'en fout. Vous n'avez pas la moindre idée, c'est dur. Tu viens chercher la personne qui a appelé, ça c'est pas facile. Payer les dégâts on peut pas, un signe, arme, qui est dans le box du syndicat. Vous allez aller aux portes du port et interroger de aux gens pour l'explication de ces tatouages. Bon, pas de personnes. Toi tu sais rien, je sais, mais peut-être que...
I can't believe it felt like spring.
Allons voir à la porte. Ok, il y a des nouvelles personnes maintenant.
Hello again, sweetie. Oh, sweet.
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and your deportment remains
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas-relief with the sun hovering over the water behind.
Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything. I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket. Oh, thank you, dear.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn.
Now, what else, sweetie?
Perdu la broche, mais bon, en même temps, du coup, je l'ai volé à une vieille dame. Est-ce qu'il y a toujours le mec bourré là? Il est toujours mort.
The worker, perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from.
En physique.
Can I help you?
Ok, rien du tout. Ok, si on va dans la cuisine vite fait.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Kubek. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each. It's almost like music, especially. You see a heavy steel. You immediately feel drawn to the color.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
The door stands silent, unmoved by your word. You see a heavy steel. The door does not budge. The cobalt blue.
Un peu de thunes, on prend. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire? Surmonter vite fait.
The door is closed. Still nothing the lieutenant gives you. He doesn't like where this is going.
Ok, chef, pardon.
The bed is cold.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night.
The fan stands a terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically... Your eyes burn with photosensitivity.
On met la porte derrière. Ok, 15h20 toujours. C'est 16h. Salut mon pote.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he...
It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Everyone's a critic, man. It's okay. I've been here, so tell me, what do you need? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Huh? The bosses, man. Makes sense.
Maybe don't tell people. The people...
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands. No way in or out. Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type. They know what's up.
Ah, yes. From the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
Wild Pines, okay.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Anything else? Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing... Oh, high-grade narcotics.
Time to arrest him.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly, they usually get shipped to Grad in the... Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise.
The man taps his fingers.
Don't be a stranger.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market. Past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You know...
Top l'ambiance, hein. Seuil d'apprentissage pas 5, la vitesse 3 MC. Ok. Du coup j'ai toujours mon point ici à mettre, mais du coup le problème c'est que... Le truc que j'ai un peu identifiable serait faire ça et dire... Affinité mécanique. Le problème, c'est qu'affinité mécanique.
The two sides of the board appear
Oh,
slightly
pas mal. J'ai une chance sur deux, mais bon, on
like a
prend quand même.
drawer. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move at 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers. It smells of chewing. A touch of cinnamon. The end of summer. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round, a young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and this. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please. A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card. Just like that, the wind picks it from your fingers. Cold, they let go. The wax... A small piece of paper dances above Martinez. Above slow and above the distant streets and the 881. Even above the... Not for yourself. For the people of... For the 80,000 under Precinct 41. The wind carries the keepsake away from you. To the southwest. The pale violet... The ledger of oblivion-induced mental health is just as shabby as the damaged ledger was. A bunch of sodden...
The Ledger of Oblivion is a special item.
Without resistance or sound, it's slightly, ever so...
Ok.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome? Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here. But you see, I'm an officer.
Silence. The air, but your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I haven't learned anything I did.
The lieutenant exhales, and you sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Whatever you say, officers. Oh man, that's great. God damn. Thanks for that, but...
He doesn't live in Martinez.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like... I'm not people who've studied these things say that you... Oh? Good. If we...
Lieutenant Kitsaragi's stern expression remains unchanged. Oh no, not...
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some car... The strike? Apples. Yeah, apples.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were best.
Ok, donc c'est un fils de pute. Là on a la poubelle et là-bas du coup c'est là où il y a la grève, ok. Petit peu magnésium.
When you said before that you were down with racism, was it meant in earnest? Or were you just trying to win his country?
Well, now you've done it. Let's see if you can talk your way out of this one.
I suppose that's a relief. Just be careful of... And one more thing. As you've seen, this sort of attitude... I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you...
Désolé patron. Un truc de frites, ok. Qu'est-ce qu'on a dans ce petit magasin? Des roses jaunes. Petite radio.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one. A small cabinet on the wall is...
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
Et donc c'est là-dessus en fait où on va du coup...
A colourful display there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love.
Guess not, no. I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
Don't ask, don't look, don't do anything here. Just go away. Get back to work.
What's that?
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, it's a machine for tear. You need a feel free to use it.
Un sac, on va pouvoir prendre les bouteilles et les vendre.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? I think they think that the You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's...
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you. She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really long. I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything...
Okay. Uh-huh. Reality.
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher.
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. I don't know what we're in Frit as mankind, or...
What will her essay prompt be?
We're in a transition. You know, transitioning from monarchy to democracy, all that stuff. When ordinary people take over the government and demands democracy. Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At our government? Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article. I don't know.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be...
Cool.
Ok, bon, grosso modo, ici, c'est là où on peut acheter du stuff. Ça là-dessus, ça va pas beaucoup changer.
Scab? I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
Should we? He didn't do it. It's the truth.
The little boy had it good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation.
Okay.
Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days. So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots... So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to process it.
A mezqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that kid...
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Body still hanging? I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
Beneath the jolliness, if it's all so simple.
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead, and yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Oh, elle est pas allée. Ce qui est pas mal du coup, c'est que d'avoir pris plusieurs quêtes au début, ça me permet du coup d'avoir plus de lignes de dialogue Donc au début c'était un peu compliqué, du coup on peut vraiment y aller quoi.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking. Maybe you should ask them the question. We have families to...
So do we, Scott.
Honest men and women, we came here to help the harbor.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No, have fun. I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading game...
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Am I a suspect? Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Background, odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work.
Idée où ça je passe pas mal de temps dans les bars. Je connais pas des...
Worked at Territorial. Ring a... It was a long time ago. We were promised work. We'd be in. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy... And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean headmen. Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least for now. If you...
No! They will give up eventually.
Ok, donc pas énormément de choses non plus.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy grab, the windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is.
Ok, donc là, ok, donc c'est sa maison à lui. On va pouvoir checker ça.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol. Not a good track record of mental health in that family. What did he do? You have high above you.
Dommage. Humanox. Ok, je crois que jaune, du coup ça peut se looter. Ok, donc ça là-dessus, ça servira vraiment pour plus tard quoi. Regarde automatique.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes and food money. No response. Wherever, nothing.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
C'est un camion, c'est pas un pont, ok, my bad. Est-ce que je peux me faufiler par là? Non, plus personne ne vit ici. Ok. Là, du coup, je crois qu'on a fait le tour de cette partie. C'est comme ça, ok. On a fait le tour par là, par l'ouest. 16h47, 16h47, évidemment, du coup, faut aller Là-bas, du coup, c'est raciste. Tourner à l'intérieur. Parce que du coup, t'as le... C'est pas ouvert, c'est pas ça, près de 16h? Un peu effondré. C'est pas grave. Après, le message, au reste de l'aventure. Du pendu. Terminé ça, ok, on s'en fiche. Et pour la carte... Après, je récupère une carte de la ville, mais je sais pas comment encore, malheureusement. Ça, c'est les points que j'ai déjà fait. Bon, bah, si on allait au-dessus, en dessous du véhicule, là. Qu'est-ce qu'on a? On a un banc et on a ça. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? C'est juste un banc, de toute façon.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsura...
Life? I'll be with you in a moment, officer.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup.
D'accord.
Please. I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
12%. Oh putain, un petit cinématique, on a le droit en plus?
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work.
Merde! Bordel de merde! What the hell is your problem? Vandalized our game, son! We can't play pétanque with 5 bull! Well, it damn well isn't!
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer?
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug! You are as a goddamn bull! Good! Mistakes...
You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point. Just talk. It'll smooth things over. Old people like attention.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting Martinez. The union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to ours. If I knew, I would not be afraid to...
This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Ah, yes! Kingfish...
Oh, absolutely.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule. Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. A nation is only as strong as its leader.
Don't get started on that.
The Carabinier doesn't reply, but his entire being. No one and nothing can change this man.
Oh, halt! You can't even take... That's wise.
Of course. Clarity.
Philippe III.
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense.
From what I've seen of the office... Right. Yeah, I do. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country. Sadly, no.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
This place is a damn beachhead, son. Yes. The military.
He finds your lack of historic.
Mountainous was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Def. This here.
Blood ground. You got old René going there.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the less damn right, son. The rest of the city got.
Well, it's your hand down.
You don't even begin.
Thinking men have opinions on these
Toujours comme ça, les
things.
socialistes modérés
Present
préparent le
one.
terrain pour que la classe ouvrière virulente prenne le pouvoir. Les puissances étrangères ont nettoyé notre bordel et maintenant ils font la loi.
I'm sorry it had to be there. I would have preferred.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, this is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This was anything.
Soon, they will forget everything.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's bowls when it happened.
Ok, c'est ici, après là-bas du coup il y a...
This Postlavantorie mail collection box has been heavily The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even.
Ok, donc là-bas en plus il y a d'autres bouteilles du coup, c'est là-bas, c'est le nord, là il y a l'endroit. Ça ici, il y a plein de petits points, plus madame, une monsieur. Vous voyez une rose, un pistolet, une femme à moitié dénudée, un homme très musclé entouré de flammes. Ici, il parle de pâté, ok. Pas trop de quoi parler, mais ça n'a pas d'importance. Et encore, j'ai vérifié l'anticonformisme. Le gouvernement lie notre esprit grâce à la technologie radiophonique. Ok.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's...
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. Oh, kings and... I think that's why people...
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Ah, c'est semble génial.
Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything.
Ok, allons dans la boutique. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a là-dedans? Oh, bonjour madame. Ça veut dire qu'il y a quoi? Qu'il y a beaucoup de lits de toute façon?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all, an endless variety. There's also books in a board game section. Who wants? There's a box. That price is steep, but then it's the third edition. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular.
Welcome to crime. Be welcome, and please take responsibility.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times. I am.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled we...
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Mind your
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
You must be good, sir.
Slap the cuffs on her.
Indeed.
Yes, we've had quite...
The woman before you scans the store. Her shoulders...
Interaction avec elle. Bon, pauvre petite Annette. Toi qui bosses à l'âge de 8 ans, on viendra plus tard, promis. Vers rond-point nord. Appartement Capsaï, un copain de Martinez. Parce que là, du coup, si j'ai là, j'ai mes vieux qui jouent au boule, ok.
This coin operates. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty? Your money disappears into the coin. The curtains on the display. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. It looks as if it was its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
The little brave birch tree. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Probably some kids.
A simple, the metal feels a thick. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of the church looks old and weather-worn.
Ok, donc ça sert à ça du coup. On a un temps à ça qui est un temps pour récupérer des trucs. Avec criquet de balles. Simulateur de déboire là.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack.
No problem, officer.
C'est au moins de faire le gentil gars. Bon, parce que nous aussi, c'est notre mémoire en soi, après en parler, on n'a pas récupéré grand chose non plus, quoi.
The tear machine stands. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
Ça a fait notre BA du jour. À moins que la cafette soit pour 18 h, peut-être plutôt. Peut-être plus logique, tu me diras. Bref, continue notre aventure. En soi, on n'a pas vraiment débloqué grand chose en quelque sorte. Ouais, ça semblait qu'on avait une carte. Mais ça, la carte, j'ai pas réussi à comprendre comment on peut la récupérer. C'est cool qu'on ait une carte de la ville comme ça. Parce que la carte de la ville, si je peux comprendre, ça permet de retracer donc tous les points par lesquels on est passé. Où du coup, il nous demande de faire des épreuves. Mais où les épreuves, du coup, on n'a pas encore assez de points pour les faire. Où on a un peu un faible taux de probabilité pardon, pour les réussir. Bon, là, il va aller au bateau, sauf que le bateau, il met du temps. Est-ce que là, je peux voir un truc ici? Oh, il y a un truc caché derrière en plus, parfait. C'est quoi ça, c'est Jean Graffiti? 3%. Bon. 3%. Pour faire un lancer, 3% c'est pas grand chose, hein. Un petit peu de magnésium, ok. Ah, mais c'est là qu'elle est, la chagasse.
She continues to be here.
Ok, il y a toujours la suite de ma gueule, il y a toujours le cadavre là-bas. Un tuyau d'arrosage. Dominance sur la cour. Bon. Ça va être la porte pour monter à l'étage. Je sais pas trop ce que je peux faire à l'étage non plus. Un autre mur clé ouais, mais ça s'est battu partout en fait. On a quoi ici? Bonnet orange, plus en réactivité pour un rhétorique, nos alpèdes. Oh bon, on prend. On a obtenu un petit thème de soin. Une porte fermée, vous la contemplez avec méfiance. Reste à moitié rempli d'eau depuis. Ok. Du balcon pour être un témoin, parlez-lui. Ouais, ça j'avais pensé, mais...
There must be another way into the building.
Ouais, je sais pourquoi la voie a augmenté comme ça. Un autre moyen d'accéder à l'immeuble. Un autre moyen d'accéder à l'immeuble. Bah, souvent en faisant le tour, hein. Ça me met... Enfin, ça m'étonnerait que ce soit peut-être aussi simple, tu me diras. En faisant le tour, là. Est-ce qu'on a un truc à récupérer là par là? Non, j'ai pas l'impression. C'est étage de sang au sol? Non, c'est quand même pas étage de sang. Il ne faut pas de la clé. Que du coup, on n'a pas la clé. Appartement Capside. Rue de Saint-Guylaine. Intérieur, le cadre de moto en réparation est utilisé. Ah ouais, tu veux que je vienne? D'accord, hein. On fait des petits stacks d'énergie, on est là, le renifleur, on renifle partout.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glitters.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from... I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could...
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure...
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can...
She wants to answer the question.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia.
Ouais, je sais pas quoi vous dire.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by...
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some
72%,
sort
c'est
of
inratable la
She's a
team.
negotiator. Just float a favor as...
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superior.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to...
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or, you can recover your badge, though if I may be blunt with you...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional... Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time?
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you look.
You could request a new one. I'm sure you will, Detective. I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done.
Tac, ok, mais du coup ça va plus rien lui parler, c'est ça? Parce que elle, du coup, va nous faire grandement avancer sur notre quête, mais...
Good. What can I... It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing.
Ingredients for what?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say yes.
Wildpine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say...
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no, yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak...
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach... Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver...
Uncovering Union secrets. You'll be indebted to her. in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another.
We did.
We know the...
Well, no. This is thousands...
Well...
What is that?
Why I had to call East Motor Track. And beg...
okay.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid...
There was a shakedown of local...
With all due respect to these... Precisely.
It sounds like she tried.
Yes? Excellent. It may come... In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of what we do. The Pines call... And that is the terminal. I'm not at...
$1 billion?
20 billion is a conglomerate the size of the wild they started. Centuries of care, deliberation, and you mean aside from being the... There are no minor cogs in the system.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Ils vont permettre du coup de gagner des points.
This reality. Ah.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions per...
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
It's a neurological...
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
It's not just me, Detective. All of... Well, it's either bariatric surgery...
She nods.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie, out in the open somewhere.
These are unimportant for the revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets... Those would be the communists.
She's not gloating. It's a...
Oh, and the anarchists. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Yes. Lots of people. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Yes. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. They are what they are. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know? What I am...
Everyone wants to talk about themselves.
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they... Revachol, the great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism. A fact.
History, Detective. They built this city to result in the DeLorean century. The nations of the Oxid, they say it's... By that I mean, we are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island. I think it's fair to say so. 22 kilometers from the center...
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
Je peux le débloquer ça? Je peux le débloquer. Il me dit juste qu'en fait je dois le débloquer, mais je sais pas quand, ok.
This is one thought you need to complete.
Was there something else you wanted to know?
This has been informative. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Monsieur?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
It's better not to eat all your candy.
Indeed. I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? Of course, Detective.
Toutes les quêtes que ouais. Ouais, donc énormément de quêtes du coup commencées, mais très peu de quêtes finies encore pour l'instant. 18h30. Le problème c'est que du coup t'as les poireaux qui sont en ville là. Il y a la meuf qui veut que je vienne la voir là-bas.
A sturdy metal door. The door rattles against your knuckles. But there's no... The door rattles again. But this time...
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting... The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No. I'll go check the back...
Backyard door. There must be another entrance to the east.
Porte de l'arrière-cour. Bah ouais, porte de l'arrière-cour, j'y suis déjà allé là-bas. Sauf qu'il n'y a rien. Est-ce que j'ai une heure précise peut-être? C'est blanc, c'est vrai que c'est fermé, non?
Must be another way into the building.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one. Silence. Silence. You hear static from...
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with...
It's you.
No. Something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand.
Je suis pas longtemps pour ces derniers temps.
A spot of static overrides her words.
It's so nice.
She sounds like she's about to cry. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now. You press the number sign on the keypad that terminal. You wait. You ring the... All you hear. You ring the door. What an ominous and off-key melody.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be...
A single beep indicates that the line has gone. This button...
Huh. This button looks new.
Ok, du coup si on va là-bas. Ok, bah nous voilà de retour. On est toujours pas ouvert, toujours 18h30. C'est sûrement des trucs à faire, il faudra qu'on retourne du coup voir le camion. Mais d'abord nous allons sauvegarder la partie. Sauvegarder là, et on va s'arrêter pour ce soir la team. Je confirme, retourne au menu principal. Ok, donc du coup le jeu Très spécial. Très spécial. Le fait de commencer avec un antagoniste du coup qui a totalement perdu la mémoire. C'est pas facile. On sait qu'il y a un cadavre, mais il y a quand même du coup le lieutenant qui est à côté de lui du coup pour l'aider comme il peut. J'avoue que c'est un jeu qui est super intéressant. On se perd un peu parfois dans le tas d'informations, mais je pense que c'est un peu le but. Et qu'on va du coup, tout va se résoudre petit à petit. Mais ouais, c'est assez surprenant pour le début. Mais franchement, très bonne découverte. Hâte de continuer ça. Moi, je vous laisse là, la team. En tout cas, passez une bonne soirée et une bonne nuit. Puis bah, on se retrouve pour la prochaine. Allez, à plus.